Alright guys, so this is just a little math video on piping offsets. Okay, so there's three different varieties of piping offsets that you guys will see in your books. This first one, the first variety, you'll see that they'll give you a measurement from the corner of the wall. I'm going to just back up and kind of show you what they're saying. So this is a plan view of something, and this is the wall down in here. All of this is the wall. And then we have piping, and our piping here, we said, hey, we want to maintain 125 on this side, we want to maintain 150 on this side. You just make a 45 degree that works while staying 900 from the corner. That's kind of what the question is. Okay, so the first variety of question, they will give you the measurement that's 900 from the corner. Okay, and really how you do it is, we know this is 900. I can just extend these two lines. Boom, boom. You'll notice I have two triangles and they're a mirror image of each other. Okay, so if I just go back to a little review on 45 degree triangles, there's a couple things we got to talk about. Okay, so 45 degree triangles, there's a couple special things. Remember we said that if this side is 1, then this side has to be 1. And the hypotenuse, or this side over here, this has to be 1.414, right? Cool. So we'll use those same ideas to solve this question. Okay, so again, back to our question. If we know that from up here, down to here is 900, then this side has to be 900 as well. Conversely, this has to be 900. Okay, great. So that's the first step, but you'll notice we're not done yet because we have some overhang. So you'll notice, oops, what's going on here? I can do some of that action. There's a little triangle, and then on the other side, here's a triangle. Okay, so from this end to this end would be 1800, or 900 plus 900, 1800. So if I could just figure out what this little guy would be, and this little guy down here, if I could figure out what those are, I could subtract that from 1800, then I'm done. Okay, so just like we said over in our little review over here, we said, okay, on a 45 degree triangle, this is 1 and this is 1. The hypotenuse would be 1.414. So if I go over to my practice problem, my hypotenuse is just the one side times 1.414, which means this side would be 150 times 1.414. 150 times 1.414 equals 212.1. 212.1. Great. Now over here I can do the same idea. I can just go 125 times 1.414. Kind of getting sloppy over here. 125 times 1.414, 176.75. Ooh, this is getting bad. Okay, and then I can just subtract it from 1800, those two numbers. So it'd be 1800 minus that 176.75, 176.75 minus 212.1 equals, I'll slam it in my calculator here, 1800 minus 176.75 minus 212.1 equals 1411.15. Cool. Okay, so that's our first. Okay, here's our second variation, and you'll notice really it's kind of the same question as before, but the only thing is they throw this tank. So against the plan view, here's my wall, here's my piping over here, plan view. Okay, so it's 8 inches from this wall, it's 6 inches from this wall over here. But now I got this tank in the corner to deal with. They place the tank, it's 10 inches from the corner. It's a small little tank, it's only 12 inches in diameter, and they want it 6 inches from our piping. Okay, so it's very similar to what we did before, in the fact that if I just add the 10 and the 12 and the 6 together, that would give me this, and then that would, I know that this line would be the same, and on this side it's going to be a mirror image. Okay, and then I can just figure out what these little guys over here would be, and then hey, Bob's your uncle, I'm done, right? Okay, so the first thing I do is I just add these ones together, so it's 10 plus 12 plus 6. So 10 plus 12 is 22 plus 6, 28, which means this is 28, and this over here is 28. Okay, now I just have the little tips to worry about. Okay, so this one would be 8 times 1.414, 8 times 1.414, 11.312, 11.312. Now, people always say, well, when do I round? And I tell people, round at the end. Keep all as many digits as you kind of want to, and then round at the end. So I'm going to keep that 312, and then I'll do any rounding at the very end. Okay, so my one side now is 11.312. The other side is just going to be 6 times 1.414. And that is 8.484. 8.484. Great. So now I can just go 28. And I may as well write it out. 28 plus 28 equals 56. And then I'll just subtract the ends. So subtract that 11.312 and subtract that 8.484. Okay, so again, that 56 comes from 28 on this side, 28 on this side, and then I'm just subtracting the little tips here. This one and that one. Okay, great. So it'd be 56 minus 11.312 minus 8.484. You should get 36.204. That would be in inches. Okay, so again, anytime you see inches, most people don't say, hey, go cut me a pup at 36.204 inches. Most people want 1/16 of an inch. So in order to convert that to 1/16 of an inch, I subtract the whole. So I'm going to subtract 36 from my answer just to kind of isolate the decimal, and then times that by 16. Okay, and I'm getting 3.264, so that'd be 3. So I could write 36 and 3/16 of an inch. Cool. And I guess, truthfully, I should probably put x equals. Okay, great. Okay, and this is the final variation of this question. I do this one a little bit different than your guys' books. So when I see this variation of the question, again, I guess I'll go through what exactly you're solving. This over here, this is the wall. Okay, here's our tank. Again, we got a tank. The only thing you'll notice is the tank isn't centered anymore. So we can't solve this question like before because this tank isn't centered. In the last question it was centered. This one's off center. It's 11 inches on this side and it's 15 inches on this side. So we can't use the same technique. We use something similar, but it's a little bit different. Okay, so if I see this tank off center question, what I do is I draw a little dot right in the middle of the tank. You guys are going to laugh, but I'm going to try to draw as vertical line down as I can. Okay, that's not bad. And a horizontal line, about as horizontal as I can draw. And then I'm going to add another line from here down and from here over. Okay, and what you'll notice is I still have I guess I'll do one more. What you'll notice is I still have 4 triangles, but before I had the 2 and I took the tips off, now I actually have to add them on. That's the difference to this question. Okay, so there's a couple differences. Same idea, just a little bit different. If you notice, I'm starting from the center of the tank. Okay, so I can't use the whole 36, that's the diameter. Instead, I'm just going to use the radius. So the radius is just diameter times 2, right? It's just half the circle. So the whole circle is 36. I just want half, so that'd be 18 inches. So from the center of the tank to this outside, that would be 18 inches. And then I have another 16 over here. Okay, so it'd be 18 plus our 16, that would be 34. Remember our 45-degree triangles, whatever the rise, the run is as well? So that means this is 34, this is 34. Great. Okay, so what I just finished figuring out was the distance from here to there. Now I just got these tips, this one here and this one here. Okay, so this is where it gets a little bit tricky. And that's why I told you guys to draw the horizontal line. So if I could figure out what this is, this side, this is kind of turning to a bad little diagram. If I could figure out what this side is, I can multiply that by 1.414 and that would give me this side. Okay, so we know that from the wall to the end of the tank is 15. And then this is another 18, because that's half the tank, right? Ooh, this is getting bad, real bad. Okay, that's 18. Then I can subtract this 12, and that would give me that measurement. I can multiply that by 1.414. Hey, that would give me my answer. Okay, so in order to do it, I would go 15 plus 18, and then minus the 12. 15 plus 18 equals minus 12 equals 21. Okay, and then I can multiply that by 1.414, and that'll give me the answer. So it'd be 21 times 1.414 and 29.694. 29.694. You'll notice this is not drawn to scale. So sometimes that throws people off, but hey, it's just a drawing, not drawn to scale. Okay, now I just do the same idea for the other one. I know this is 11 inches, half my tank is 18, so it'd be 11 plus 18 minus 14 down here, minus 14. And again, I go 11 plus 18 equals minus 14. That should be 15. 15 times 1.414 equals, you should get 21.21. 21.21. Okay, so that means this is 21.21. Okay, now I can just add them all together. So I have that 29.21. Whoops, 21.21 plus 34 plus another 34. Plus 29.694, and I just add them all up. 21.21 plus 34 plus 34 plus 29.694 equals 118.904. And again, that's in inches. Most people don't want that, but hey, I'll just leave it. If you guys want help converting to the near 16th of an inch, shoot me a line. Okay, ooh, practice problems. I didn't give dimensions, so I guess we're gonna wing this one. Okay, so let's say this is 1200. Let's say this is 300, and this one is 200. Okay, so you can pause the video. You can try to work on it by yourself. My writing looks like crap, but anyways, it's 1200. This side over here is 300. This is 200. Okay, so again, this is the first one we talked about, the first style of question. I have two mirror image triangles. If this is 1200, then this guy has to be 1200. This guy is 1200 as well. Here I got the tips. Okay, so again, if this side is 300 on this side, then this one is going to be 300 times 1.414. 300 times 1.414. And that would be 424.2. Okay, I'll do the same thing on the other side. This is, if this side is 200, then this would be 200 times 1.414. And it should be 282.8. 282.8. Okay, so again, I would add these two together. This one here and this one. I then take off the tips. So 2400 minus 424.2 minus 282.8. So 2400 minus 424.2 minus 282.8 should be 1693. Even. Hey, that's a good math problem. Okay, question 2. Again, this is the second variety, so I guess I don't have anything. So let's say this is 200, 300, 100. This would be, try to use easy numbers, 300, and this is 250. That's a 50. Okay, so just like before, you can pause the video and you can work on it by yourself. Okay, so in order to solve this, again, this is the tank is centered. So on this variation, I can just draw a line down and a line over, and just like before, I take off the tips. Okay, so this is 200 plus 300 plus 100. What is that? That's 600. So this is 600, and this is 600. Now I just got to take off these tips. Okay, so this one is 300 times 1.414. That would be 424.2. Okay, this side over here would be 250 times 1.414. Okay, and that'd be 353.5. 353.5, yeah. Okay, so now it would just be the 600 and the 600. I add those together, it'd be 1200 minus the tips. So minus 424.2 minus 353.5. 1200 minus 424.2 minus 353.5 equals, that would be 422.3. Great. Okay, question 3, that's the third variation of this question. Okay, so again, I'll just throw some numbers in here and see if I can make it easy. Make this 600. Let's say this is 100, 200, 300, 400. Sure. Great, so again, try to clean this up. That's supposed to be a 300, 100. That's supposed to be a 600. That's supposed to be a 400. Okay, so you can pause this video and try to solve it on your own. Okay, so again, to solve this style, the third variation, where my tank isn't centered, I start from the center and I try to draw a vertical line down and a horizontal line over, and I can just connect them. Oh, I left you guys hanging. My bad. So if you paused the video and you've been working on this for half an hour, my bad. I did not give you all the information you needed. Let's say that's 400 there. Now pause the video and do it on your own. My bad. Sorry about that. Okay. So there's our 4 triangles. So remember, it's half our tank. Our diameter is 600, which means our radius is 300, plus that 400 that I forgot to give you guys earlier. That's 700. So that's 700, and this is 700. And then I just have to add these tips on. So remember, to find these out, it's this 100, this one, 100, plus half the tank. That would get you down to this line. So 100 plus the 300 will get you down to the line. You take off the 300, and that will give you this over here. Okay, so it would be 100 plus 300 is, well, it's 400 minus 300 is 100. So that would be 100. And this means this is just 1.414 times. So it would be, hey, I can do that in my head. Look how smart I am. Okay, and then I'll do the same idea on the other side. It would be 200 plus half the tank. So it would be 500 minus our 400. That would be 100 again, which means this one would also be 141.4. Okay, now I can just add them all together. So I'd have 141.4, 700, 700, 141.4, and I add them all up. Okay, and you should get 1682.8. Okay, question 4. Again, this is just the first variation we talked about. Let's say that this is, let's say it's 100. And if that's 100, then this must be 15, and this one is 20. Okay, so you can pause the video, try it on your own. Okay, so to solve this version, again, if that's 100, then all the way to the end, that has to be 100. Okay, and then on the flip side, this one over here is 100, and then I just take off these tips. Okay, so we know that this side over here is 15, which means this one would just be 15 times 1.414. Okay, this one down here, if this is 20, then this would be 20 times 1.414. I forgot to do the math, so 20 times 1.414 is 282.8. Great. 15 times 1.414, 21.21. Great. Okay, so again, to solve this problem, I just add the 100 and the 100 together, so that would be 200. Whoops. 200, and then subtract the tips. 21.21. I screwed something up here pretty bad. Sorry, I screwed up my decimal here. It's not 282.8. I couldn't read my calculator. I'm getting old. It was 28.28. So anyways, it'd be minus 28.28. Okay, so it'd be 200 minus 21.21 minus 28.28. And you would get 150.51. Okay, question 5. Let's give you some numbers. Let's say this is, what's a nice number? 100, 400, 300, 50, 70. Okay, so you guys can pause the video and take a crack at it on your own. Okay, so to solve this problem, very similar to the other version, our tank centered. So again, here's my triangles. Okay, so I can just add them up. 100, 400, and 300, that would be 800, which means if that's 800, then that has to be 800. This has to be 800 as well. Cool. Now you just have the tips to worry about. So this one would be 70 times 1.414. 70 times 1.414. That's 98.98. 98.98. And then over here it would be 50. 50 times 1.414. 14. Ooh, this is getting bad. 50 times 1.414, that'd be 70.7. Okay, so now I can just add that 800 and the 800 together, and then take off the two tips. So it'd be 1600. That's where the 800 and 800 times 2. 1600 minus the tips, 98, minus 70.7. Again, 1600 minus 98.98 minus 70.7. You should get 1430.32. Okay, question 6. This is that third variation. Let's try to give you all the numbers this time that you need, so you're not cussing at me when you're trying to do this question. Let's say let's make this 1,000, 200, 230. This one would be 400. This one 430, and this one would be 800. Okay, so this kind of looks like garbage, but okay, so we got 200, 1,000, 230, 800, 430, and 400. You guys can pause the video and take a crack at it on your own. Okay, so to solve this problem, remember these are the ones. Put a circle in the center of the tank, and I draw a vertical line, and I draw a horizontal line. Okay, and there's my 4 triangles to solve. Okay, so the first two, remember, since it's from the center of my tank, it's the radius, so that'd be 500, plus 800 would be 1,300, so that means this is 1,300. And this is 1,300. Great. Now I just have these little tips to worry about. And remember, if I could figure out what this side is, then I could multiply that by 1.414, and that would tell me what this one is. Okay, so to figure out this first one, this one over here, it would be 200 plus half my tank, which is 500. So 700 minus 430. 700 minus 430 is 700 minus 30 equals 270. And then remember, to get this other side, I multiply that by 1.414. So times 1.414. And that's, oh, I get one. Okay, so that one would be 381.78. 381.78. I'll write it up here. 381.7. Okay, now I do the same idea on the other side. Be 230 plus 500, be 730. Minus 400. 730 minus 400 equals 330. Multiply that by 1.414. And you should get 466.62. Okay, now I can just add them all together. I'm going to write this out first. 466.62. Okay, so I just add them all together. So it'd be 466.62 plus 1300 plus 1300 plus 381.78. And I add them all up. Oh, this is good. So it'd be 466.62 plus 1300 plus 1300 plus 381.78. You should get 3448.4. Okay, so I think that concludes this video. If you guys have any questions, give me a shout. If not, catch you on the next one.